Hi, everybody. This is Silvio Canto in Dallas, Texas on Tuesday, March 13th. Welcome to our video commentary. Well, the big story of the day, of course, is the firing, dismissal, termination, resignation, whatever you want to call it, of Secretary of State Rex Tillerson. Frankly, I'm not surprised that this happened. I think most of us could see this coming. This was not a shock for me. From the last few months, you could tell that there was a certain amount of distance between President Trump and his Secretary of State. At times, it didn't seem like they were speaking from the same page. So I had a feeling this was going to happen. And sometimes in business or in politics, the quicker you make a change, sometimes the better. So not surprised at all that Rex Tillerson was asked to leave. Now let me say something about Rex Tillerson himself. I've always had a great deal of admiration for this man. I had a chance to watch today his comments or his little speech about his termination. And I think you could see that this is a very classy guy. This is a very professional, classy guy who just thanked everybody for their service and didn't take a shot at anybody else. I think that's very classy and professional. My problem with Rex Tillerson goes back to when he became Secretary of State. I always thought that he was a bit of a bad fit for Secretary of State. I know back then they were looking at Mitt Romney and maybe John Bolton and a few other people. And I think either one of those two would have been a better Secretary of State than Rex Tillerson. Mr. Tillerson obviously had a lot of experience in the business world as the CEO of Exxon. Look, that's a pretty important job, probably a dream job, I would think, for most people in the administration or of an energy company. But I always felt that he was unfit for secretary, or a bad fit, I should say, for Secretary of State. I think he would have been a much better Secretary of Energy. I think he would have been a much better Secretary of Commerce, or maybe one of the major players in, let's say, trade negotiations like NAFTA or whatever. I always felt he was a better fit for a position like that. I was never really crazy about Rex Tillerson as Secretary of State. And when it happened, my reaction was, well, the president gets to choose his team, and he knows more about the person than I do, so I just accepted it as, well, he's running the team, let him pick his own people. But I just never felt that Rex Tillerson was the right man for Secretary of State. As I said, I think John Bolton or Mitt Romney would have been a much better choice. Now, a lot of people, of course, are throwing around the word chaos and all of that. Look, first of all, the word chaos is a very political term and very often used as a way of attacking the other side. For example, when President Obama had the problems with the Obamacare website, many people on our side would say things like, there's chaos in the White House. So the word chaos is a politicized term. It basically means whatever you want it to mean. There's no objective definition of chaos in politics. There may be in the dictionary, but not in politics. So I don't subscribe to all of this stuff about chaos. I think when you're the president of the United States, what matters is results. And having the right people with you who will help you accomplish those results, that's the way it is. And it's obvious to me and anybody paying attention that Rex Tillerson was not the right man for whatever President Trump was trying to do. So we wish Mr. Tillerson well. As I say, he's a very fine person, very classy, professional man. And it's just a shame, frankly, that he was put in the one job where I thought he was least a good fit for. I think he would have made a much better contribution to the Trump administration in energy, in commerce, or in trade negotiations, but not in Secretary of State. So we wish him well. As I said before, I've always respected the man. He's always been just absolutely great. And we wish him well. I guess he's going to come back to Texas, and we wish him well. But life goes on, and we will soon now have a new Secretary of State, Mike Pompeo, who is excellent. Now, there's a guy who's truly fitting for the job. And there's also going to be, obviously, a new director of the CIA. But another day, another day in Washington. That's all I can say. Thank you for watching. We have all of these over at YouTube, on Twitter, and on my blog. Bye-bye, everybody.